So let's talk about story foraging, heart thinking, and the golden thread. If you've been looking at these videos, you know that there is a data point that really interests me, which is the amount of information that we receive every second. The number that is often tossed around is 11 million bits. 11 million bits of information are received by the human mind every second. Now, only 30 or 40 of those bits, not million, but 30 or 40, are conscious, meaning that we're aware of only 30 or 40. Meanwhile, the rest of it, the lion's share, most of it, is subconscious. And I include, and other researchers will also acknowledge, that neurological material is throughout the body, so this is an embodied part of the brain, of the nervous system. So most of the information we take in is in our bodies and in our subconscious. We tend to be focused, because it's the nature of focus, on what's in our conscious mind. So this is where rational thought is. Rational thought organizes the things that we're conscious of. We tends to be in sequence, tends to be ordered. We like there to be consequence. We like there to be follow through. We like things to make logical sense. And that's how we organize our conscious mind. Our neocortex is really good at that. It's awesome for problem solving, also awesome for getting organized. All the things that are in modern life that are, respond well to being ordered go well. But, human beings are complex. Complexity is messy. It's different than complicated. Complexity is different. Humans change, sometimes from second to second. There are so many variables that are operating that it can sometimes seem very random. Even the most logical, straightforward, predictable person things will come out of nowhere, seemingly. That's because of all that massive amount of information that's in our subconscious, in our bodies. So rational thought doesn't work so well when you're trying to harvest information out of your subconscious. What does work well is called heart thinking, which is an emergent kind of thinking that the human being, from an evolutionary standpoint, has been developing for a bit, but relatively recently. And that is, we're all aware of it, we all do it, but we're not necessarily aware of it. When we have a gut feeling, when we have an inclination, when something feels right or wrong, instinct, we have all these words around it, but basically what we're doing is measuring data, massive amount of data in our bodies, and we're interacting with that somatically, with the feelings that we have, either emotions or sensations or such. So it's not organized and ordered, it's not as measurable, but it is something that you can practice and get better at. Story foraging uses that kind of thinking. Story foraging is finding the story, the content, the thing that you're going to say in this interview, the thing that you're going to say or respond to in this conversation, any instance in which you're telling a story, which is most of the time, you can find the most honest, most effective, most inspiring, most mobilizing bit of content by using story foraging. Instead of thinking your way there, you're going to sort of sense. It works on the same premise as foraging, which is that there's a mycelium underneath the entire forest connecting everything. It knows everything about the forest, and from time to time it blossoms a mushroom, and we think that's what the mushroom is. That's like rational thought. That's conscious thought as the mushroom. We can see it. But the massive amount of the mycelium, the fungal network, we can't see. It's down underneath the ground. That's like the subconscious. So story foraging uses heart thinking, a practice of being somatically aware and responding to that, in order to find a golden thread. And a golden thread are kind of like cues. They're street signs in the subconscious that tell you where things are narratively dense. Or another way of saying that is that they're closer to the truth, or something that's really important to you. Truth in the subconscious is different than truth in the rational mind. We operate more often out of this mythic truth that lives in our subconscious. That's what mobilizes us into many behaviors, voting, where we spend our money, things like that. It's irrational, but it has a truth to it. It has a mythic truth to it. So if we're operating in the realm of really wanting to reach people where they are, where they really are, and where they are willing to make a change, a transformation, we have to go to that subconscious, because that's where the habit forming is. In order to go there, we're going to try to find the golden thread of what is important and true to them by way of using heart thinking, and we're going to forage a story out of that, a response, a speech, something that they're going to experience from us as storytellers that's impacting, that means something to them, and will bring change. So there's a whole mini book on this with exercises that you can get. Follow the links and it'll take you to the page where all the mini books are. There's one for each of the tools of restorative storytelling, and very soon I'm going to be doing the moving into it, intuitive storytelling, which is a little different. So hope to see you over there. Reach out with any questions. You can ask them here or email me. Okay.